Hi, I'm Alexandra Ellis of aewellness, and today I'm going to teach you how to find what your neutral spinal and pelvic positioning is to help enhance all of the core stability and spinal stability exercises that you're doing. Now, what we propriocept or sense as our neutral spine may not always be necessarily what structurally is neutral. Your body is super smart and will adapt to the positions that you put yourself into most often. So sometimes what we map as normal is just what we have gradually come into and may not be what's optimal or stacked for your spine. Now, the things you need to think about, or the bony landmarks to think about, first of all, is the front of your rib cage. This is called the xiphoid process. And think about where your rib cage meets. That's the point we'll pay attention to. And then beneath that, the front of your pelvis, your pubic bone, where the pubic bone rests. Okay, so these 2 points of alignment. And then additionally, the front of your hip bones. These are called the ASIS, or anterior superior iliac spine. All you need to think about is hip bones, a pubic bone, and the front of your rib cage. So what you'll do is lay down on your back, and you'll take the heel of each palm and place it on the front of your hip bones. Remember that bony knob that hurts really bad when you hit it on the edge of a table. It's the worst. And then your fingers, whichever fingers can reach, are going to come together right at the pubic bone. So I want you to make a triangle with those 3 points of alignment. So when you lay down, you want your rib cage and hips to be in neutral. And for some of you, laying down is going to still have this space underneath your rib cage. And if that's the case for you, you might want to put a block or something underneath your head. Totally fine. So remember, hands come to those 3 points of alignment, hip bones, and then the pubic bone. And what I want you to start to do is to try to press your low back into the floor, and then do the opposite, trying to arch your low back off the floor. And so you may even want to close your eyes to get a better sense of what's happening here. But as you begin to rock your pelvis back and forth, be aware of what muscles are doing this. So you don't want to use your buttocks too much, and it's not your legs, but it's some of the smaller stabilizers. Now, as you do this, notice what happens to the hip bones and the pubic bone. When the pubic bone tips down, right, those 2 hip bones come up. And then the opposite happens when you press your low back into the ground. So your pelvis is able to rock over the sacrum. And that's the big wedge-shaped bone that's just above your tailbone. So what I want you to figure out is the point where the back of your rib cage is resting on the ground, so there's no space underneath your ribs. And those 3 points, the pubic bone and the 2 hip bones, are perfectly level. Once you find that position, I want you to see if you can turn on your abdominal muscles. And one way to think about that is the bracing you would have to do if someone were going to come up and poke you in the belly. And you might even find that poking yourself in the belly helps you to turn on the whole abdomen wall, not just pulling the belly button into the spine. So you activate your abs, but keep the levelness of your pelvis. And there should be a little bit of arching through the lumbar spine. Our lumbar spines naturally have this little bit of lordosis, and you want to maintain that here. So neutral pelvis, the 3 points are level, abs are on, and then you see if you can challenge. And the challenge is literally as simple as trying to march without letting anything change through the rest of your body. So don't let your hips rock from side to side. Don't let your rib cage pop up off the ground, but maintain level pelvis with marching. And if you're like, that's easy, well, the next step is to switch the legs in the air. Again, making sure that the 2 hip bones stay level with not only one another, but also with the front of your pelvis. Keep the back of your rib cage on the ground. And one way to make this more difficult is to tap the foot further away. And this is a lot of leverage because the weight of the leg for the abdomen to work on. But it's more important for your spine and abdominal muscles to learn how to brace your spine in neutral, because we want our spine to be able to maintain neutral for whatever it is that you do. So use this as a good warm-up to help map into your nervous system what neutral is, and continue to practice it on a regular basis, which can help to resolve any issues you have of misalignment or postural issues with your spine, your low back, your shoulders, your hips. Get creative too. You don't have to just move your legs. You can do leg lifts. You can do arm positions. You can get super creative with this. And knowing how to maintain neutral spine and a neutral pelvis will carry over into everything that you do, whether it's setting up for your deadlift in a neutral spine, or being aware of your posture as you run, or just being aware of how you sit at your desk. Knowing what neutral spine and neutral pelvis are will carry over into every activity that you do. So give that a try, and let me know if you have any questions down in the comment box below. And if you want to learn more about how to maximize your mobility to live pain-free in your body, be sure to check out my website at aewellness.com, and stay tuned right here for more videos.